Okay, so you're welcome back to the show. It's time for court today with Murtala and Inusah. Murtala came today to the studio with books, so we're just looking at it.
Yeah.
Civil litigation in the lawyer is not easy.
So they are
Murtala, how are you?
Yes, good morning, Lily, and good morning, Sewa.
Good morning,
Yes, today
Captain.
I'm working like a professor.
Yes.
Yeah, working with 2 books.
Yes. Today you're a logophile.
So this morning I carried with me these 2 books because there's a lawyer friend who has been monitoring this show, who has been watching the show, and he's actually love what we are doing here. And Sewa will know more about this.
Yeah, he's
this
gifted.
man. Absolutely. So he's an author as well,
Okay.
a lecturer as well, and he's an astute lawyer. He's been a lot of. In fact, one of the cases that when I mention, you can easily know who I'm talking about is the issue regarding the celebrities case at the Supreme Court, where the FDA banned them from advertising on alcoholic products.
Yeah.
Yes. So, lawyer Bobby Banson. So he's gifted me 2 books to read. So these are 2 of his books. That's the first one, Civil Litigation in the High Court of Ghana, and then the second one has to do with commercial arbitration in Ghana, practice and procedure. Yes. I'm sure Sewa have read it. So I'm also going to read it. And when I
haven't read commercial arbitration.
When I come here and I'm doing guy, you should understand that.
I haven't read commercial arbitration, but I've read civil litigation.
Civil litigation, yeah.
You know, so I wish you the very best in reading the book. It's actually a very nice read.
Yes.
It's very simplified.
Absolutely.
You know, especially it's you don't have to be a lawyer to read
and
understand.
Yes, and understand. It's been very simplified.
Yes. Okay.
You know.
I received these 2 books yesterday. So lawyer Bobby Banson, or Bobby Banson Esquire. I say thank you so much, and I'll make you proud.
And precisely, that's the part that you need to talk about, because we saw what's in the book.
Yeah, he gave you a simple note.
Yes. There's something that he said.
Yeah.
He said when he was minuting the book, so I want the camera to capture it before I read it.
Hey, Murtala,
the camera to
we will
capture
send you a check.
So it says that, dear Murtala Inusah.
He says the director says you should show it to the camera.
Okay. So this is what is captured here. Before I read it.
Lily, can you please read?
Lily, read
what's
it
the
for
word?
me.
Logo. Read it.
He says, may your reading of this book bring you what?
Inspiration
To start and finish your legal journey.
I'm inspired. Lawyer.
So please, start the legal journey.
It will start very soon.
Captain.
You know, the way that Murtala, I always tell him, you know, that the way he knows his stuff and he has come to appreciate the law over time, he really wouldn't struggle at all.
Yeah.
At all in learning the law. So please, this is a very big challenge.
Oh, yeah, it's a very
for
big
you to
challenge
begin now. Every morning
I'm
we
studying
say
the law
think
here.
big.
Yes.
Yeah, I've started reading
By,
the law here.
yeah, so congratulations
Absolutely.
on that. And
Thank
you know,
you.
one thing about Bobby Banting is that he can teach you civil procedure in 30 minutes.
Wow.
Everything.
So that shows the experience that he's gathered over.
Yeah. So all the best. All the
Thank
best.
you.
Anyway,
So-
let's. What happened in court yesterday?
Yeah, so I'm taking you to, you notice like last week was an ADR week, and the beginning of the ADR week was shattered because of the organized labor action and all that. So if we're gathering the data, the success nature of this very ADR week and all that. But one very institution, Institute of Paralegal Studies, they are churning out some ADR. You notice the case of the courts. There are a lot of backlog of cases, and they need ADR professionals to come and support and make sure that they reduce the backlog of cases. So Institute of Paralegals have been churning out some of these professionals, and then some of them had been graduated, giving certificate and all that. But let's go and listen to
They are
Mr.
paralegals.
Yes,
like
paralegals.
in Ghana.
Yes.
A whole institute.
Yes.
That's really cool
Yes. So they train these professionals. So 80 of them were graduated and all that. So let's hear from Alex Nate, who is a PR, I beg your pardon, ADR consultant. Let's hear from him. He's making the point that the Hang Parliament was supposed to have brought some new change in the way Ghanaians do things. But unfortunately, it has failed.
Right.
But he has this advice for ADR practitioners.
Sometimes we ask as a nation why we are not developing the way we expect. And I can tell you for sure, one of the major reasons why we are not progressing as rapid as we expect is that as a nation, we do not have what it takes to collaborate with one another for superior success. That is what has affected our nation. And this is evidence in what we have seen in how our hang parliament has worked. We thought that the hang nature of parliament was going to engender cooperation and a meaningful cooperation and collaboration among our parliamentarians for running Ghana. And that has rather jeopardized a lot of national effort. And we don't need to hide our faces when we are saying this. Had a breakthrough. And we are going to have quality of deliberation in Parliament for the general good of Ghana. But hang Parliament couldn't achieve that. We have had one of the worst economic challenges when we had hang Parliament. And we never saw them reasoning over our challenges. It has not been an exemplary at all because Ghanaians in general lack the interest-based approach to handling issues. We are all the time emotional. And when emotions are at their peak, wisdom vanishes. So when you see a parliamentarian addressing Mr. Speaker as if he's annoyed with everybody in the world, you can conclude that he's not going to say anything good than to be partisan. Partisanship does not develop any country. It is collaboration and objectivity. And that is what ADR provides its practitioners.
Anyway, so that's Alex Neti.
Yes,
He's
so
ADR consultant.
He's been giving us insight why the hang parliament should have done better than it is. But let's also hear from Kontiri Hini of Konti Hini of
Hey,
Temati.
Murtala, where are you from?
He's a
We
guy.
don't like that.
It's Konti Hini.
Yes.
Konti Hini.
Konti Hini.
Of Temati in the Kumewu.
No, but it's Konti Hini. It's not Konti.
Yes, Konti Hini. Yes, you got it right. Of Kumewu traditional area. In fact, he has been a chief ADR professional, and he's telling us how that helped him and looking at his subjects,
Right.
taking decisions and all that. And let's also listen to this, what he has for the ADR professionals.
Even with all of us, we are agents of peace. Let's promote peace. Let us not fan into flames already existing chaos. By dint of your training, be assimilated, wholly transformed to add up to the few people who are promoting peace, transformation through the wings of ADR. And I can assure you that between a space of 5 to 10 years, the law courts will be less. And the agents of ADR who are poised to bring out solutions and make sure society becomes a convenient and harmonious place to live will then thrive. So put yourself together. There's a lot ahead of us, but it all boils down to reading. Recently, when I went to my place, just
Anyway,
so
Nana.
yes, Nana AJC Kappa.
Okay.
He actually chaired this particular exams and all that. Let's also listen to the director of IPLS. Goslav Koko-Nati.
Those who did professional executive master in alternative dispute resolution, and those who did professional executive master in general paralegal studies. Some also did executive certificate in alternative dispute resolution, and I think the last group they also did alternative dispute resolution. However, we have online and then in person, so some did online and some did in person. So these are the people we have graduated this year. They started in February and in March, and then they are finally graduating today. So the feedback has been great in that our students talk well about us, and then our main goal is to create awareness about ADR, and then since we have this awareness being created, we believe that it is a great feedback for us. Our previous graduation, we also graduated 80 people. Yeah, so far this year we've graduated 160 people, and then we believe that these are great people who will go out and then create the awareness we want ADR to create, and then they will do their work well so that the burden on the court will be released, and many people will come and then study to be ADR practitioners and also paralegals. The message I have for them is that they should be trustworthy, and then they shouldn't go out putting themselves out as lawyers. They should go out and then put themselves out as facilitators of disputes. They should help people to facilitate their disputes and not judge people for their disputes. Okay, and then our paralegal students who are not going out to put themselves out as lawyers, but rather paralegals who are very beneficial to lawyers. So to the general public, if you have a case and it is not criminal and it is amenable by ADR, I'm advising you that ADR is short. I mean, it is cost effective. The process is not so long. You know, there are cases in the courts that can go as far as 20 years, 15 years. But if your case is amenable by ADR, then you should try ADR, and then you would see the benefits for yourself.
Goslav Koko-Nati. She's the rector of IPLS, Institute of Paralegals, which channel these professionals and all that. So that is in relation to ADR. But in the coming days, we'll be talking to the ADR directors about what the success rate of this very ADR week that has gone by is all about. Yes.
Let's look at some of the cases coming up. We know that the president is swearing in some judges.
Yes.
And then the ambulance case.
Judges.
Yes, so today yes, at the presidency, in fact, the Jubilee House, of course, some people will be promoted from the High Court to the Court of Appeal. And Lily, your friend is one of them. Justice Lydia Osei-Mafo, yes. Okay. Yeah. Her name is in there, and today she's one of the judges who will be, in fact, quite recently, the nomination came out, and we had about 16 of them being penciled down for elevation. But my understanding is that not all of them made the cuts. But today, those who made the cuts will be sworn in by the president. Justice Lydia Osei-Mafo. In fact, when I mentioned Justice Lydia Osei-Mafo, there are a lot of cases that she's dealt with. This JB Killer case, Kaswa Ritual Murder, GHOne, all of them, she dealt with all of them. And Justice Abuaje Tando is also one of the judges that you will see him there, also being elevated.
His name is regular
absolutely.
on court today.
I remember from the circuit court, all over. He's the only judge, when you go to his court, he has a very unique way of dealing with the matter. Things are happening before you ready. Then everybody was like, what is happening? He went to Winneba, they came back to Accra, and now. But the Cocoa Board case is the one handling it. So he's one of those judges who will also be elevated today. So congratulations to all these judges. It's always
the
good
director of the law school will also be.
Yes, Yaopon.
Yeah.
Yaopon.
He isn't a high court judge, but
he's also in there.
Yeah, be sworn in today as a Court of Appeal judge. Congratulations.
The kind of people who are being elevated today are people that you know that they surely deserve. So we'll see them there, of course. And then the ambulance case.
Yeah, today is Tuesday.
Yeah, today is Tuesday. But it is looking 50-50.
Why?
Why? Because of the budget.
Budget
yes, the budget review. And the first accused person Dr. Kasiel Atufosin is the minority leader, and the chances are that he has to be in parliament for this. It is not yet clear though, but it shouldn't surprise anybody if this case didn't happen today. Of course, we expect Alex Segbefia, the former Minister for Health, to appear as the second defense witness for businessman Richard Jakpa. And the first time, the first witness came and all that. So that is what we expect. Justice Efia-Sewa Saribuchi will make a determination. But it is looking like 50-50, this case. If what is supposed to happen in Parliament comes on, then this case surely will be adjourned.
Men's gold?
Yes, Nana Appiah Mensah, for the first time after Justice Ernest Owusu Dapaah has ordered him to open his defense because prosecution has made a case against him. Witnesses, there's a prima facie for him, evidence established, so he has to open his defense. Today, he's expected in court, and the court for a mini case management conference, and then of course he'll move on to enter the witness box and tell the court what he knows about these whole charges. In fact, 39 of them, but 3 of them were struck out or were withdrawn. Prosecution abandoned it. So now the 36 count, he has to provide answers to the selling gold without license and other counts, defrauding by false pretenses, money laundering, and fraudulent breach of trust. So some of these charges are what Namwan is expected to respond to. So today he'll be in court, and then we'll know what will happen in relation to that.
Okay. Are the jurors back?
They are not. Yesterday I met a few of them and said, no, we'll be back soon, but not now.
So what happens to the JB killer case, Kasori, which is expected
absolutely today
to have their verdict, final judgment?
Today is the 4th time that it is looking likely that it will be adjourned. Just one sitting, then we are done with the case, but it will be adjourned because the jurors are not. My understanding is that they want to phase them out of the system. Okay. Because some of them have been in the system for a very long time. So
you mean not the juror system, but these set of jurors?
Absolutely. Not this set of jurors, but the experienced jurors in the system. You know, in a jury system, or the way of, you are not supposed to have so much knowledge about what even happened in court. Okay. You just have to be somebody who is sound educated. So you just come there, sit down, listen to what happened. But there are some of them who have been in the system for a while, handle a lot of cases year in, year out. I think the CJ wants to phase them out and bring in new people. That is where the bone of contention is. So if that is what you want to do, then give us our money. Because we know that if you don't give us our money and we finish those cases, you are not going to get it. So that is the reason, the main reason these jurors are holding on to that. 4 months has been paid.
Where do you see these jurors?
They are around the court.
But that is how our system is. So you are not supposed to even you're not supposed to get close to the jurors at all.
We have our system here. After court, the jurors are around. So you can understand a very dangerous and very sensitive matter that ought to be looked at. The jury system, there's a big issue with it that has to be.
Because how are jurors having conversations and telling reporters that we will come back? Do you know how the accused persons or even prosecution may approach them to have conversations with them?
It is one of the biggest challenges, or one of the biggest challenge with the jury system. The way the system is not safe for everyone.
Maybe that's why the CJ wants to
even if I want to, those days when the issue of murder is death sentence, all that I have to do is identify 1 or 2 jurors
and compromise them.
If I can,
if it's possible, if they are so accessible.
Yes. No, in fact, they are very, very accessible. They are very, very accessible.
That's really sad.
And it's one challenge that the system will have to address, if anything at all, is to resolve around it. So yesterday, some of them were around, and they said, look, until we get our monies, we are not back. And they are still having meetings with the leadership and all that. So we'll know more in the coming. So that case is not coming. And then Sexy Dondon is supposed to come on today, but that one too. Definitely
the jurors are absent.
Yes.
No show. Yes. Okay, Captain. Thank you very much.
Thank you to the deal.
We'll catch you on the flip side.
Absolutely. I'm going with
and enjoy
my
your books.
Yes, I'm going with my books.